part of some of the information we're trying to find out, I've spoken to a lot of ex-employees of the club, and it's remarkable that they all come with a similar tale. And it's people on the make in terms of cash, resources and time. And it's clear that none of them had any respect for Mr. Bratt. When you get this kind of culture within an organisation where people are on the make, it comes from the top. And it clearly did in Mr. Bratt's case, because he was openly doing his business while he's been paid by Port Vale Football Club. He was selling Albany Mills in Congleton for £800,000. People think he hasn't got a lot of money. And of course, we all know about the hotel in Blackpool that he was doing up whilst he was chief executive. So my question is really to Perry. With your association in the past with Lemon Zest, are you part of the solution or are you part of the problem?
I keep hearing this Lemon Zest thing. To make it absolutely clear, I have no association with Lemon Zest. It was a company owned by a friend of mine. I was absolutely open about that. There's no issue with that. I don't think they trade anymore. I think he's moved on to something else. So I'm not really sure what you're asking. There is absolutely no association.
Can I just pick up there? You're sort of raising a point about almost dishonesty, you're saying, at the football club, aren't you? Is that what you're saying? Yeah. I mean, if you would like, and I don't think that things like that should be subject to open meetings, but if you would like to bring to me any evidence that you've got, I will look at it. I do not. I think when we get into these situations, it's just not out there for general public. But if you'd like to do that, I will have a look at it.
What I'm saying is it's rife in the club, and it needs root and branch changing.
I think can we then say to in a wider to Perry? Perry has two aspects of chief exec, which is looking at creating the commercial investment and employing the staff to do get the commercial investment in the club. But there's also the actual day-to-day running of the club, with the staff line management and the staff in there. So can I perhaps redirect a little bit, Perry, and say to you, how do you envisage moving forward in the actual morale of the staff working at the club, but also ensuring that those staff in the club are working positively for Port Vale?
And just by making sure that exactly the things you've said happen. Everybody that works for Port Vale will have to have a passion and a desire to succeed. It's an absolute given. If you're going to work for a business that I'm responsible for, then the minimum things I ask for is desire and passion for what you're doing. I have it. I work extremely hard. I'm actually, significantly offended by what you've insinuated there. It's absolute rubbish, complete and utter rubbish. If it's gone on in the past at Port Vale, I can't do anything about that. I'm the present and the future at Port Vale. If I find any wrongdoing at Port Vale, that individual will be dismissed immediately. There's no question about that. They will be dismissed immediately. And anybody that doesn't want to come to Port Vale every day and give 100%, as I've said, in terms of passion and effort, will find it a very uncomfortable place to work. And to answer Dave's question, that's how I see us moving forward, by everybody having the same agenda at Port Vale, not themselves, but the club's success, by looking at and renegotiating commercial agreements we have, which is what we've started doing and having some significant success in, and making sure that we have a commercial operation that's fit for purpose, i.e. we get out into the local and national business community and attract business to Port Vale, and that's what we're doing. And as Mike said earlier, we're actually having some real success at that, and I'm hoping that continues.
Barry, getting back to the protest at the beginning of the year.
Everybody got Mike?
Just an aside, Perry, do you know who I am?
I don't know, sorry.
One of the worst players ever to play for Port Vale.
I'm guessing from that you're Ray Williams.
I worked for you for 2 months. But you don't know who I am. You never spoke to me.
Tells its own story, that one.
Just some observations, please. First of all, going back to the Nantwich game, Port Vale were fully aware that they had to pay for the pitch because I was in the office when I'm assuming that you said the assistant manager made the phone calls?
I'm saying the assistant manager had an opinion
Who was
regarding
it,
what
Jeff Horsfield or Mark Grew?
Mark.
Jeff Horsfield was the manager
Okay.
last week.
I was led, as I say, I wasn't there, Ray, so I can't.
No, but Port Vale were fully aware that they had to pay for those pitches during the bad weather. Second
By
one,
the way, I agreed with that with Nantwich, which is why I paid it.
Yeah, but why didn't you pay it at the time? I don't
Because,
think you had
because
the
I've got
money.
because I've got members of my staff, Ray, that were telling me different, and I needed to look at all the circumstances
you were
before
forced to
just
pay the
signing
bill.
a cheque on the Port Vale's account.
Secondly, Mike, you say that you rejected Mo's proposals for the good of the club.
No, I didn't actually say that. What?
Can I suggest then that you might have rejected Mo because you'd had personal dealings with him prior?
I've met Mo on 2 occasions prior to his approach to Port Vale Football Club. He sat on the board of Piccadilly Arcade Limited, which are some shops in Hanley, and he got 2 units and sat on that board. He attended a couple of short board meetings, and that is all the only dealings I've had with him, in any shape or form. And the first time that I spoke to Mo after that raid was in this room at about 6 o'clock. After the meeting, nearly everybody had gone. Mark Sims and is it Kevin, his lawyer, came to speak to me. We sat there and we were speaking about moving forward and trying to find a solution to it all. We were having a sensible conversation, and Mo came over to that conversation, sat down at the side of me and harangued me for 3 minutes. Harangued me non-stop. Said I was an idiot, I was a fool to come to the meeting, I shouldn't have been here, I was talking a load of codwash, and he went on and on and on. And in the end, he finished by pointing to his skin and said, "Is it that? Is it this that you don't like?" And then Kevin butted in and said, "Mo, we're actually having quite a sort of reasonable conversation about going forward here." And I said, well, I've finished now, and walked off. Now, that happened here. I've never told that tale to anybody else before, Ray, but that left a nasty taste. I am not racist in any shape or form. And
no one said you are, Mike.
No, and my previous connection with Mo doesn't have anything to do with his approach to the club. As I said earlier on, I made my opinion on what was there on the table.
His plan was no good.
Pardon?
His plan was no good.
I didn't say his plan was no good.
His business plan was no good.
I didn't see a business plan.
His money was no good.
I haven't seen a business plan, right, which is interesting. He never produced one. He actually went public and saying, "You've all seen." Well, just produce me a copy. He went on record saying he did not have to produce a business plan. I am 100% certain about that. This club.
Mike, the reason he didn't give you a business plan, just let me speak, the reason he didn't give you a business plan because you would have lifted it. Because you hadn't got one of your own.
All the best ideas are Nick's road.
Can I carry on? Yeah. I noticed your share holdings has risen by 12.5%.
Correct.
Which is a quarter of Rob Lee's.
Absolutely correct.
Who bought the other 75%?
Bill bought the same as me,
Yep.
12.5, and the other shares were bought.
3,000 by Mr. Oliver, 2,000 by Mr. May.
Mr. Who?
Mr. Mee.
Mr. Me bought Mr. Me bought 2,500.
No.
Sorry, let me get this back right. I took 12,500. Bill took 12,500. Stan Me took 10,000, and the rest were taken by Glenn. That's exactly.
Not Jackson.
Jackson did not purchase any shares whatsoever. In fact, I'll be fair, Jackson was going to and then refused to, and Glenn picked up those shares.
Can I just direct this one at Perry then, please? I had an argument with Peter Jackson about the chief executive should not be commercially based, but based on legal aspects of players' contracts, budgets, etc., etc. You seem to be making a lot of enemies with your posts in the local papers in your chief executive role. But I looked at the programme yesterday, and this is the players' sponsorship programme, and the blue ones are available for sponsorship. Can I suggest you concentrate on that aspect rather than the chief executive role.
Do you know how much they cost, Ray? Player
How much what
sponsorship.
cost?
Player sponsorship.
I do indeed. I sponsored one last year, but
How much was that, Ray?
I think it was about 60 quid.
Yeah, 60 quid. And there's about how many unsold? About 20 on there?
20 unsold.
Yeah, maybe more.
I suggest you go to Specsavers.
How many's there, would you say? 20, 30?
36. 36.
I'll count the ones you have done. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20, 22.
So it's about £1,300 worth. It's not one advertising board at the ground. So whereas I accept, Ray, and you're absolutely right, do you want me to answer?
Program, that is, pal. That's in our program.
It's not
Be
question.
obliged to put that page in.
I agree with you. However, the total of that is not one advertising board. Can I give you an example? Just because you clearly seem to be making a point. I'm not sure what point you're making, Ray.
I'm sure the people would like to hear about
No,
advertising
absolutely.
boards.
Let me tell you what happened then, or what's happened so far this year, and perhaps it'll give you an idea of what we're trying to concentrate on, because we can't do everything overnight. I talked earlier about having a fit-for-purpose commercial operation, and we're in the process of doing that, and actually, commercially, we're doing okay. But last season, the club only sold £29,000 worth of advertising boards. Not good enough.
At full price.
Well, at various prices.
What are you selling
the
them at?
total income from advertising boards for the club last season was £29,000. This season, after 6 weeks of our financial year, we've sold £92,000 worth of advertising boards. Now, I would say that was better time spent for commercial staff than trying to sell all those at this point and make another £1,200–1,300, and that's what we've been trying to concentrate on.
Right. Can I just leave you with it?
Is that outsourced,
I think-
or is that money into the club?
There's an existing sponsor. There's an existing agent's contract with a company called Sport 11 that I inherited. It was an agreement for last season and this season, so we're honouring this season's version of that. But in terms of the balance between what the club sold and what we get from an agency, it's about 85–86% club money. It's something it's money that the club's generating, not an agency.
Is that 92,000 per annum?
So this year we're in, yes, so far. 6
No,
weeks.
but so next year we'll get another 92.
Providing we sell them all again, yes.
So you haven't got on 3 or 4 year contracts?
No.
Okay.
Yeah, I think if we can just move on again then, if we can, please. I don't know if anybody's
Just to finish, please.
Go on.
I just feel, having sat here for an hour, 2 hours,
Yeah.
we've tried to unite the fans here.
Yeah.
We're fairly miserable.
Why, Ray?
Why do you think that, Ray?
Why?
Yeah.
Because I can sense the feeling in the room.
Yeah.
We haven't moved on from the Glen Oliver and the Bill Brad situation. We will still be in the same
Mike, the
position.
biggest problem is, mate, we still don't believe you, mate. We don't believe you.
Well, hold on. So are you saying to me that you do not believe that Glen Oliver will not stand for re-election in
I don't give a muck
December?
about Glen Oliver.
Why can't you stand down now?
Do you-
You don't believe you, mate.
Listen, I've explained this 3 times. You've got to be quiet, and until you replace a director with another one, you can't continue to operate.
replace him
You know,
now,
I don't know which bit of that you don't
Mike,
replace.
we
That's
don't
everything.
believe you.
Sorry?
You've got to prove to us
Yes.
that you
Yes.
are going to take this club forward,
Yes.
pass it on to somebody better,
Yes.
right? And you've got to prove to us that
Yes.
you're the man to do it, and we can believe you.
And
And at the moment, mate, I don't believe you. And part of it is because of your background.
What's that?
Bloody Warsaw for a start.
Can we close this off? Can
And
we,
that bloody
you know?
missed out on going to see one of the bands at Vicky York.
Well, you should have rung me and asked for tickets, shouldn't you?
Sorry, mate.
Yeah. I do appreciate what's being said there. I said at the closing at the last meeting that we've got to find a way of moving forward from here. I personally, and I can only say from this here, I'm not going home games at the present moment in time.
Or me.
You know,
who's just gone out?
Yeah,
one Yeah.
who's gone to the door, yeah. Army two
So,
lads.
now,
Aye, aye.
yeah, I'm